Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another opportunity for us to be able to give you some vital information on not only our agency, but also some of our partners. So, thank you guys again. My name is Antonio. I'm with MOED, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. And today we're going to focus on one program specifically, the Support to Communities Grant. And we're also going to have a feature from one of our partners, Pivot. They're going to talk about one of their upcoming cohorts that starts next week. So please make sure you like, comment, and share this broadcast to make sure that it reaches as many folks as possible. If you hear something that interests you or might be of benefit to someone that you know, please share with them so that we can reach again as many folks as possible. So just a few announcements before we get into the meat of the session. First, all of our workforce centers are fully open. That means that you don't have to make an appointment to access services. You can walk into any of those centers and be able to be served just as you did pre-pandemic. So it's important if you need services, if you know anybody who needs to come in and utilize the computer lab, sit down and figure out how to get a resume together, get some job leads, they can continue to come into the center and we will be able to service them there. Not only are we able to service individuals physically, we're still able to serve someone remotely, so they can still call in, they can still utilize the assistance request form, and we will make sure to contact them as soon as possible. Please continue to check on the Maryland Workforce Exchange, and you'll see you'll see that website at the bottom of the screen there. Make sure that you check there to take advantage of all of the opportunities that are posted there. There are multiple job opportunities that are posted there daily, and it is updated frequently. So make sure that you use every tool available at your disposal. Not only do we have that, but we also have our Now Hiring job board that our agency maintains. It's updated very frequently again. With this posting, you'll be able to be put in contact with someone who has a direct contact with the employer or job posting that you're applying to. So please utilize both of those resources at your disposal. And so now, sliding into the fun part of what we're here for, we're going to bring on Miss Veronica Jackson, who is the executive director of the Pivot program. She's going to talk about their upcoming cohort. How's it going, Veronica?
It's going well. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Antonio. I appreciate it. Good afternoon to everyone. Our next cohort, I'm the executive director at Pivot, and our next cohort starts on Tuesday, October the 12th. So we are an 8-week women's reentry program. We accept all women who have been justice impact. So that means if you have been previously charged with a crime, if you're currently pending a charge, or if you are a returning citizen, we definitely are looking to service you. Our program meets on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 10 to 1. And we will start October 12th and finish December 3rd. At the end of the 8 weeks, we look to make sure that women are linked to quality paying wage employment. And we offer personal success coaching, wellness, and also workforce development on each day. So Tuesday, you'll come in for personal success coaching in groups. Wednesday is wellness and a wellness activity. Thursday is your actual workforce development day, because it's our goal to aim to get women back to work.
Awesome. So you guys really take those 3 days during this 8-week cohort and divide that up between the various pillars in your program and focus on one of those pillars each day.
Yes, each one of those days is dedicated to that specific pillar. We're located on 1414 North Wolf Street, so all of our groups are happening in person. The space is humongous. It's definitely able for each of us to service each and every one in a safe capacity, making sure that we're still following the COVID guidelines, but providing a quality service to ensure that women who are criminally impacted are able to get back to work.
Awesome, awesome. And the way that you guys, again, we want to define that term, the criminally impacted, justice involved. Anybody who has a current charge, a pending charge, or a previous charge in their background, that it doesn't matter how old it might be.
No, you can have a charge from 15 years ago, 20 years ago. You could have had a stat, or let's say where it you might have previously been charged and then it might have been thrown out and then reopened. We take everybody on a case by case basis. We don't turn anyone away, regardless of what the previous charge is or the pending charges. As long as you are a woman with any type of justice impact, we will service you.
Awesome. 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 This program is a wonderful opportunity. So please, anybody out there, if you know someone that might benefit from it, if you yourself may benefit from it, please make sure that you apply. And it looks like they can apply at your website.
You can apply directly at our website at www.pivotprogram.org. You can inbox us or hit us up on Facebook. We answer all DMs and requests in our messenger. We usually typically reply same day or within 24 hours.
Awesome. So guys, there you have it right there. Either apply on their website, pivotprogram.org, or slide in their DMs on Instagram or Facebook, and they will make sure to reply. Thank you so much, Veronica, for coming on and sharing about what you guys do. We're excited about this next cohort. And what is the start date again?
October the 12th.
October the 12th.
Yep, this Tuesday.
October the 12th, which is this upcoming Tuesday. So you guys only have a few more days to get your application in. So make sure that you do it as soon as possible. You have the ability to open up a tab right where you are right now and go to pivotprogram.org and submit that application. So thank you so much, Veronica, for coming on. We're excited about this next cohort.
Thank you so much for having us. We look forward to servicing the city.
Sure. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
So please make sure you guys go to pivotprogram.org and apply there. Again, Pivot is one of the great partners that we have in some of the reentry work that we do. So anybody who's justice involved, make sure that you connect with them and this resource for any young lady who may be interested in that. Our next program, which again, we're extremely excited about, is the Support to Communities grant. And we have one of our own an MWD staff member, Jessica Cardo, who's going to talk about that grant. Hey, Jessica, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Talk to us about what this grant is and how it's going to help folks change their lives.
Absolutely. All right. So this is the Support to Communities grant, and it is a lot of opportunity, a lot of funding from the federal government for MOED to be able to provide free training and placement services for people that have been impacted by the opioid epidemic. So what do I mean by impacted? Essentially, if yourself personally or someone in your life, and the only thing we're looking for is for you to just sort of affirmatively say that you have a friend, that yourself or a friend or a family member has been impacted by the opioid epidemic, either by having a history of opioid use or any other substance use disorder, or if someone close to you has. That, and then you would have to be a Baltimore City resident, and then 18 years or older and not in secondary school, so essentially high school. And you would just go through an intake process with us, but that's all that's required in order to take part in this training. We are working with lots of different vendors, high quality vendors throughout the city in order to provide these programs. These programs have been picked because these vendors provide jobs that, or trainings that go into jobs that where they have an average starting wage of $15 an hour with an opportunity with a really good career pathway, so that way you can continue to move up. And so the idea is that a short-term training, high quality training, and an in-demand career in Baltimore City will allow you to be able to start at a good wage and then continue to make more as time goes on.
That's awesome.
And then I'm just going to go a little bit into the training providers that we have right now. So the first is Baltimore Cyber Range. They do cybersecurity. So if you're somebody that feels like, if you're not comfortable on a computer, this is probably not the best program for you. But if you feel like, you're on the computer a lot, it's something that you think that you would enjoy doing. This is one of our most intensive programs. It lasts about 4 months. But it has the highest average starting wage at $22 an hour. And it's one of those careers where it really just doesn't end in terms of the opportunity to make a good wage and a good career for yourself. This is a list of lots of different certifications that you're going to get while you're in the training. And again, it's one of those careers where you can continue to grow and learn things as you do it. And they also help place you into a position afterwards. And so you don't really have to worry about that. Because it's not offered directly through MOED, each of these programs has their own admission requirements in addition to what I just talked about. And this is just by virtue of the employers that they work with. So unfortunately for the cybersecurity program, they're very strict on having a background. And you need to be a citizen just by virtue of the work that's being done. But if you're in that situation and you feel good about computers, this is a good program for you. And this would be starting in the spring. The second is CivicWorks. So this is a really great program that does green energy. If you like being outside, it's sort of like green construction essentially. It has a good starting wage, like I said. One gives you certification to really have a good grasp of, like solar panels and brownfields and things like that. And so they give you a really robust understanding of different kinds of construction. With a good starting wage. CivicWorks is also great because they offer a stipend. There's a lot of social support, a lot of social service support while you're in the program. And I believe they follow you for several years and also connect you to placement afterwards. In terms of Goodwill, they offer a lot of different programs. So the pharmacy tech position is really exciting. It starts at $14 an hour, but again, there's lots of opportunity to continue in that. It's one of those things where you can get that license and continue on in the medical field if that's of interest to you. You would need a high school diploma or GED. Again, that's the other one that you can't have a background because of the nature of the work. But everything else I'm talking about, they're very flexible if they have any issues at all in terms of background, just so you know. So the pharmacy tech position, the next one comes up on November 1st, if you're interested in that. In terms of the National Retail Foundation position, there's one that starts actually in about a week, if that's something that you're interested in. And then in terms of their Microsoft trainings, those are actually open and can be done whenever you like. And that's also for the flagger position. So those are all great opportunities at Goodwill.
Awesome. So these, one thing that I keep hearing you say is also that there's the support on the backside of these trainings to connect an individual to employment. Is that intentional for all of these programs?
Absolutely. The whole purpose is that there's a pipeline, right? It's that when you start with us, like I said, you go through intake, and I'm going to get into that later also. But the whole idea is that, once you register with the Maryland Workforce Exchange, not only are you set up with a career development facilitator, but you also have access to a profile where you can look into jobs that are being offered at any given time, different opportunities. And also the city is going to have so many opportunities coming up. So let's say you're in a training program and then you're having trouble with transportation. We're planning on offering, and Antonio, you've probably talked about this on this program in the past too, but some of the things coming up in terms of opportunities, support for transportation, mental health services, things like that. And we're going to be working closely with the training providers, recovery centers, anyone involved to make sure that everyone that participates in these trainings is as successful as possible and also gets placed. And then once they're placed, we still follow you for 2 years. That way you can check back in case you need anything from us. If you need any other supportive services, we're really trying to braid all of our resources together to try to give people the best opportunity to be successful.
That sounds fantastic.
And then so this is the third one, the Jane Addams Resource Corporation. This is manufacturing. These are really cool programs, very hands-on. One of the nice things about these two is that they're open entry, open exit. So essentially, if you get there the first day, let's say you're unemployed and really eager and you take to it really quickly, you can get through it really fast. You essentially get thrown into the shop, and if you really like working with your hands, if you like understanding machines and things like that, as you can see here, there's a welding fast track program that starts at $16 an hour, or 13 to 16, CNC fast track. So you get to really learn these machines, and these are really in-demand careers. And so those are really good opportunities as well. JARC, as it's known, is also really great in terms of providing on site, like, really robust supportive services and being able to help you with whatever you need, in addition to the support you'd be getting from MOED. And then the last one we have is Maryland New Directions, which is also really good with that. There's a start time for January for the Commercial Transportation Careers Program. That's 3 weeks. The Hospitality American Hotel and Lodging Program is 3 weeks, and that starts in November. These average starting wages, again, are $15 and $18 an hour, so pretty competitive. There is a drug test at the front of these, but with the starting dates, you can even work, with myself or your counselor to try to sort of like figure it out to make sure that, again, that you're set up for success if you're interested in these programs. And this is sort of what you mentioned, Antonio, too, just a few things that you'd have access to while you're a part of this as well. So transportation fare, driver's education training, these are just things that certain programs support. And if you need any of these things while you're in training, like I personally or your training providers can work with you to try to access these things to make sure that you have everything you need to be successful.
That's fantastic. So if someone is interested in driver's ed training or getting their GED or expungement services, all of those pieces are built in for you guys to provide either those services yourself or refer them to a partner to do that?
Absolutely. So we have partnerships throughout the city to make sure that you're sort of connected right away. For instance, like when you talk about expungement and things like that, to Maryland Legal Aid and other people that are sort of the professionals at that, to make sure that you get the best services possible.
That's great. That's great. Providing a one-stop shop for someone who's in training. I love it.
So this is to apply. Essentially, you need to just register for a profile in Maryland Workforce Exchange. I feel like plenty of folks that are watching this are probably already on here, but in case you're not, oh, that's perfect. Thanks, Antonio. And it should take about, like 15, 20 minutes. It's very straightforward. Essentially, the city wants to know, different statuses, like if you're a veteran, your family size, things like that, just so that way they can get a good idea of what you're eligible for to make sure that you can take advantage of all the opportunities that we have. So once you do that, you literally just contact me, and that way I can make sure that you're connected to a counselor that knows that you want to be in this program. I can answer any questions that you have. We would set up an appointment with you to meet with a career development facilitator. And then depending on the program that you're interested in, if it's a good fit, if you're able to meet the requirements for that program, you would start the program whenever the next start date was.
Awesome. So in essence, after they've created their account in MWE, they can reach out to you and schedule that appointment.
Absolutely. And then, yeah, and I mean, just depending on the program, you should be good to go. And then just be on your way to a career that is going to start at a decent wage where you know that you can take care of the things you need to take care of. And then, if you like it, progress in that. And if you don't like it, you'll be an MWE and you can go back to your CDF and talk about other opportunities.
That's wonderful. Awesome. It seems very easy, very simple to get into the door. And once you get into the door, everything's already been thought of to ensure that there's this sense of ease from start to finish. So this seems like a really great program. And again, can you talk just a little bit about the eligibility piece as it relates to opioid?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say, there's no like paperwork that you need to prove that you're impacted by the opioid epidemic. A lot of people have in different ways, and it's very personal. It's literally that you would have to just sort of, because this program is meant for people who are looking for work that have been impacted, it's literally just answering the question, do you, a friend or family member, have a history of opioid use or any other substance use disorder? So if you have a parent or like a relative or a close friend that's been impacted by addiction, and unfortunately most of us have, just sort of answering affirmatively to that and then being in Baltimore City and being over 18 and being eligible to work in the United States can be the sort of baseline for you to be involved in the program.
Awesome. So as long as you're 18 years old, a Baltimore City resident, uh, are not in high school currently, um, and have been impacted by addiction, by either yourself personally or a friend or family member, you can apply for this program.
And then, you know, the not being in high school, and I'm sure that you've had other folks come on to talk about this too, is just because we have a slew of other programs for youth that are specific.
Mhm.
And so this is an adult program, and that's why that is there. But if you are 18 or younger and in high school, there are lots of other programs too. So I would also just encourage you to get connected with MOED anyway.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. Anything that you'd like to leave as a parting message to anybody?
I would just say that if you're watching this and it makes sense to you and you feel like either for you personally or someone in your life, like a friend or a family member, that they could really take advantage of they have the time to devote, you know, 2 weeks to 4 months and to a really high quality free training that leads to a good job. This is a really amazing opportunity that's only going to last for another year or so. And so I would really strongly encourage you to let them know about this. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you, Jessica, so much for coming on. And again, everyone, if you're interested, please feel free to, if you have any questions, reach out to Jessica. I'll shoot her email back up on the screen there. So Jessica, thank you so much for coming on. She's great at what she does, guys. So if you're interested, please reach out to her and get plugged into this program. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much, Antonio.
So, guys, as we wrap up, remember we have these sessions every Tuesday and Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Tomorrow, the Employ Baltimore show will be on. So, generally, they'll have an employer coming on to talk about their current openings or what they're looking for, how to best plug in to the job opportunities that are available with them. And again, if you need any further assistance, make sure that you contact us at bit.ly/assistance request. We'll make sure to reach out to you as soon as possible. As soon as we see that come in, we will reach out very quickly to make sure that your services, that your need for services are met. And again, as always, thank you for joining. You guys, please, if you have any questions, make sure that you reach out to us. Either contact Veronica or Jessica at both of those methods that were placed on the screen. If you have any questions for us, please feel free to reach out to MOED or message us. We'll be glad to reply back as soon as possible. Thanks for joining and have a great day.